small town right outside of Albert Lee, Minnesota. Hi, my name is Maddie Schei. I'm a theology and youth ministry student here at USF, and I'm going to share a bit of my testimony. So I grew up in a small town right outside of Albert Lee, Minnesota, a small town called Clarks Grove, Minnesota, and it's a town of maybe like 300 people, give or take. And my hometown church is in Clarks Grove. Shout out to the First Baptist Church of Clarks Grove. Sam, love you guys. I would not be where I am without them. And I would also not be where I am without my loving, gracious, caring parents that raised me. And they both raised me to be a God-fearing Christian, and they raised me to love Jesus with every fiber of my being, and they definitely led by example, and I know I wouldn't be the person I am today without them, and I'm forever grateful. My dad, he's the worship leader at my hometown church. He actually just got his master's in pastoral ministry, which is super cool. And again, both my parents led by example, which is amazing. And all that being said, from the outside looking in, most people oftentimes think that I have this whole faith thing down to a T, and that I have everything. I understand everything and know everything, and I'm wise or whatever. But that is oftentimes not the case. And I'm going to give you an example of one in my life, and something that I struggle with often in my faith, which is control and having a false sense of control in my life. See, I struggle with not knowing what's next, and I struggle with not having some sort of say in what happens in my life. Because let's be honest, the Lord likes to throw some curveballs in every once in a while when you're following him. For instance, I was dead set on not coming to USF. I told my parents I'm going to the College of St. Scholastica, and that's what I'm going to be doing. There's no way I'm going to USF because so many people from my hometown church come here, and I'm going to be different. Clearly, being a junior here, things have changed. And when I toured here, I knew I had to come here. That's just one example of me giving up control to let Jesus handle it. And what I have found in the freedom of giving up control is the ability to harness the true urgency that Christ wants us to live with as Christians. And let me explain. When we have a false sense of control in our lives, we tend to focus more on what we want to happen and what we want to do and where we want to go. But if we give that to God and we focus on living for Christ and loving the way that he does, and focus on being the Christians that he wants us to be, and spreading the gospel, spreading the good news, it is so much more freeing for you to just focus on that. And that's something that I have struggled with a lot, because I like to plan stuff and I like to know what's going on all the time. And God oftentimes just brings the reins in and is like, Maddie, focus on me, man. And I have found that when I focus on having control and being the one in the driver's seat doing my own thing, I don't focus on Christ enough. I don't focus on what Christ wants enough. And I don't live with the urgency that Jesus is coming back. And he's coming back soon. He could come back before I'm done taping this video. He could come back before you're done watching this video. And I have found in my own life, I don't live with the urgency that Jesus is coming back soon. And he is coming. He could come back in our lifetime. Like I said, he could come back while you're sitting at home eating some pizza. I love pizza. I realize that like he could come back so quick. And we need to love our neighbors enough to tell them the good news about Jesus. And tell them what he has done for us. And that's something that I have been working on a lot recently in my walk. And I pray that my fellow Christians decide to do that as well, because it's a beautiful thing to be able to tell people about Jesus. And I've seen my relationships grow more when I am open about Jesus. And with my neighbors, with my coworkers even, with my friends, being able to be vulnerable about your faith is a beautiful and wonderful thing. And that's probably like the biggest lesson I have learned on my walk with Christ, is to be unashamed and to love everyone enough to do that and share the good news of Jesus. And with that, I will give it over to the lovely professor who is preaching today. And if you guys ever want to talk, again, my name is Maddie Schei. I love you all, and I pray that you all have a good day or night whenever you're watching this.